Shalom, call all y'all about Shin Yahusha, and Shalom to the elect. Now, this is another video about what's going on with this war stuff. Now, you got Russia with a new hypersonic missile, and it's talking about how will it affect the global arms race. Well, if you've been paying attention to the news, all these other countries, they've been shopping with Russia, and they've been trying to cut ties with the U.S. That's why the U.S. supposedly been putting sanctions on them. But you know the elites, the Oppenheimers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, all these other upper class so-called families that run the banks, they the ones that's pushing and funding most of this stuff anyway. So let me go into a few scriptures real quick and I'm gonna let this video play. So all these things is being formed. It's another scripture that says, "Yo, I created light, I created darkness. I created the good and the evil." And I'm gonna go to that in a minute. See, then I come back to this talking about the Smith and blow of the codes. Because people will be like, "Oh, well, why they creating these nukes?" It says in Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. It says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things." So if there's something going down on the earth right now at this moment, let's believe in the spiritual realm it's been sanctioned and ordained to go down how it's going down. Now, in the book of Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, it says, "Behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." Hey, this that instrument for his work, and this that waster for the people that still want to be like, oh, arrows, and talk about nukes in the Bible.
Can fly at 27 times the speed of sound.
Hold on, let me run that back one more time. Listen to what they say.
It can fly at 27 times the speed of sound.
27 times the speed of sound, man.
Russia says its newly deployed Avangard missile is the world leader in hypersonic weapons. So how will it affect the global arms race? This is Inside Story.
Hey, you other Akim, I ain't gonna play this whole video. I just want to get to the main point and bring out some scriptures. So you can go check this out if you ain't subscribed to it. Check out Al Jazeera news. They got an Al Jazeera English version because they got the other translations like in Arabic and I want to say Latin and some other stuff too. But this is the one that I'll be watching. You won't see this on CNN either. All they running all day is impeach Trump.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Teddy Navigega. Russia says its new hypersonic weapon is a technological breakthrough on the scale of Sputnik, the first satellite launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. President Vladimir Putin said the Avangard can easily bypass missile defense systems on its way to a target through sharp maneuvers. And that's worrying the U.S., that's also having to contend with China's development of hypersonic arms. Beijing displayed the Dongfeng 17 at a military parade in October. And the U.S. Defense Secretary has said developing the technology is a priority. Well, President Putin says Moscow is no longer playing catch-up.
If we want to be victorious, our equipment must be better than the equipment of other countries. It's not a game of chess where we can put up with a draw. Our equipment must be the best. We can strive for that. We are striving for that.
And most people hear me laugh at this stuff and like, what the hell wrong with that? You laughing at them with these nukes? You damn right. The reason why I'm laughing, because this straight out the scriptures, man. You can't make this up. This brings joy to me knowing that about Shin Yahusha really gonna cause these devils to wipe themselves out. That's why I say we ain't gotta do nothing, just bring the word out. People get cut by the word more than you doing anything. You can go knock a motherfucker out. He gonna get up later on and go eat a snack or something. But if you cut a motherfucker with some words, them words gonna stick in their brain for the rest of their fucking life, and they're gonna be thinking about it like, damn, he really did say such and such to me. But anyway, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 28, it says, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh our power, the vengeance of his temple. And you read on, it says, in verse 29, it say, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. And if you've been watching the news, you got these different militaries they've been positioning in the Pacific. China been building man-made islands in a certain part of the sea. That's why the U.S. don't want to build them islands out there, because they know that's strategic military positioning. Same thing with them going up in the Arctic. They've been trying to do this treaty, the Arctic Treaty and stuff, so certain people won't get certain military position, but they're getting it anyway. Russia been moving around their military in the Atlantic, off the coast, moving certain military craft, aircraft carriers in the Gulf of Oman, different little regions. They signed a treaty recently with the new president down there in Cuba, for them to be able to have nuclear facilities down there. So, hey man, read this line one more time. Say, call together the archers of Babylon. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all she hath done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against the Lord Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Hey, and this whole society is proud against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You got, first of all, this how proud they are. They whitewash all the images. They try to paint Yahweh as a so-called Edomite. And the same thing with Yahweh Shai. And it's clearly tell you in the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, the book of Ezekiel, and so on, the pigmentation of how they look. Then when you bring that out, or people be like, oh, well, he a spirit, what do you need a body for? But the scriptures clearly say that, though. Everything got a vessel. Every spirit got a vessel to dwell in. You think Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gonna create vessels for us, and he ain't gonna have one for himself? Well, hey, but that's what people like to think, though, when you bring out the true facts and the true information, because they've been so programmed and brainwashed by the ones that rule the society, like the book of Job said. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And who else put out all these images? You watch these movies with the angels in them, or they have the different little pictures and stuff with the little babies as angels and be little white babies. That's what they do, man. They cover up the images of the faces. They cover up the faces of the judges thereof. Salaki, that's what I meant to say. But this right here, man, this is straight out the scriptures, man. You can't make this up. I'm gonna pull some more out of it, man. I'm gonna let this play some more while I pull some more.
Development areas.
So let's have a closer look at Russia's new weapon. Well, the Avangard is launched on top of an intercontinental ballistic missile. But unlike a regular missile warhead, it can swerve sharply, making it much harder to intercept. President Putin says the Avangard can withstand temperatures of up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. And it can carry a nuclear weapon of up to 2 megatons. The Avangard can travel at 27 times the speed of sound. Analysts estimate that for China's new system, it's around 5 times.
God damn.
Let's bring in our guests. Pavel Felgenhauer is a defense and military analyst. He's joining us from Moscow. Tarek Rauf is a nuclear arms control specialist. He's joining us from Vienna. We have with us Paul Schultz. He's the former Director of Proliferation and Arms Control at the British Ministry of Defense, and he's joining us from London. Thanks very much for being with us on Inside Story. Welcome to all of you, gentlemen. Pavel, over in Moscow, so Putin had announced this missile back in 2018, but how significant is this deployment?
Hey, and if anybody think about getting in the military at this time, hey, don't do that shit, man. You want to hear some wise words, don't join that shit. And this is why. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 30, it says, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and because there's gonna be a lot of niggas over here dropping dead too, before all this stuff even take place, and when it take place. And it says, and all her men of war shall be cut off in a day, in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh. Because best believe they ain't gonna just aim them over here in them places over there in the Middle East and all the different little areas where the U.S. military position at. Oh, best believe they got them marked. So ultimately, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that mark them to put a spirit on them to aim in them directions anyway. Because just say they could be picking the war with somebody else. They could be going, it could be Russia and China duking it out, or Korea and China going at it. But nah, prophecy got to be fulfilled. So all these countries, they coming together against the U.S. right now.
Today,
Well, it's run as with a lot of hype as a great achievement. There's a lot of kind of PR going out to the Russian public that this puts Russia #1 in the world in nuclear armaments. Though, of course, it's not a new missile per se. It's a very old missile. Actually, the missiles on which these avant-gardes are deployed are about 30 years old. They were built in the Soviet times, known in the West as SS-19, and in Russia as Ur-100 UTTH. So this is an old missile with an innovative warhead, a reentry vehicle. And yes, this is innovative. That's it's an important achievement. Though right now it's more, I would say, technical achievement that doesn't really alter the balance between America and Russia in nuclear weapons.
we're going to talk about the balance of power in just a moment, but just for clarity's sake, Pavel, Russia saying that it's been put into service. What are we to read into those comments? Does it mean that it's actually operational right now, or is it still in
Yeah, that's what it means. Let me read the scripture right here. It's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and this verse 13. I'm going to read on. It says, it said, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it should not be inhabited, but it should be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all places. You know, you see something that's messed up, or you jacked up, or somebody might get in a wreck or something, or, you know, something is just made desolate. Like the scripture say, you just be like, you shake your head, you might point at it. That's what people are gonna be doing, man. And on verse 14, it says, put yourself in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Let me go back into this term, once again, military term about broken arrows. I had to bring this out, even though I brought it out before, because somebody else might not have seen it. It says broken arrow refers to an accidental event that involves nuclear weapons. They ain't talking about when you read the scripture there, when it says, all ye that bend the bow. Those missile silos are actually set up like a, if you ever went hunting or you went out in the woods or something, and you pull the arrow out of the quiver and you put it in that bow. That's exactly how the missile silo is set up. So it's basically like just parabolic talk when it's talking about all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her and spare no arrows. But his term right here, broken arrow, refers to an accidental event that involves nuclear weapons, warheads, or components that does not create a risk of nuclear war, which that ain't what this is talking about on this last part. But it said these include accidental or unexplained nuclear detonation, non-nuclear detonation, or burning of a nuclear weapon. So that's what a broken arrow means. So what an unbroken arrow? Now, you know what's crazy? I ain't even looked at it. Let me see if they got it on here. I had to look up certain words on here just to look and see. Okay, this ain't pointing to the military. This going back into some Renaissance old stuff, but let me go all the way into it like this, like I just did on the other video. And see, look, man, I wasn't even looking for this, but look, this was popped up on here. It said, "What is an empty quiver?" Now, if you ever, like I said, if you ever been hunting or whatever, you got an empty quiver. That means you out of arrows. You know, use your arrows up. Military terminology, it says empty quiver, the seizure, the the seizure, theft, or loss of a nuclear weapon, man. See, hey, you can't make this up, man. This definitely writing out the scripts, man. And see, if once again, if the white man wrote this book, they would have took that out of there, but they ain't take it out of there. So, let this video play. I'm just end this off with one more scripture, and that'll be it.
Advanced phase of field testing.
Apparently there were tests. I mean, these things were tested in Soviet times. The development began also 30 years ago, or even 40. Now they reached deployment stage, and several silo-based missiles have they replaced the original classical re-entry vehicles with this one. Of course, that means that the SS-19 can carry basically up to 6 separate warheads. When they put an avant-garde on it, it's only 1. So actually it decreases the number of warheads. That's why they're deploying just a handful, just several, because right now, well, they're not really militarily needed that much, because America does not have a comprehensive missile defense. So there's nothing to break through much. Ordinary warheads can also reach the...
Hey, and that's set up like that on purpose, man, because you have Shin Shot set up like that. No missile defense, too, on top of that. So it's just like open season over here, basically. Because this place it's been untouched. All these other countries, they be getting hit up. Different stuff be going on over there. Only reason why areas don't really, these other regions around the world don't come over here or mess with us, because you had a U.S. military position all throughout the world. Just like back in ancient times, when the military got spread thin, that's when they fell.
United States or Americans reach Russia, so that the balance is based on that.
All right.
So this is for the future, basically.
Tariq Rowe.
Hey, you heard it. And this scripture right here, this the future right here. Now it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 17, it says, "For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off." Now, who else come over here and trade? And who else do the most imports, I should say? Because we don't really export nothing like that. Who do the most imports? It's America, man, a.k.a. Babylon. And all these other countries, man, they gonna see it, man. Let me read on one more verse. That's it. It says, "And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?" Because they're going to see all that smoke rising up. Just like when that one event, that 9/11 event, which the elites set up. That was an inside job anyway. When they set that up and the building was still smoking for that long period of time, that was just them buildings. So just imagine some nukes go off and hit something. How long that smoke going to be smoking? So, man, hey, this was serious too, man. Like I say, I can pay attention to the news. All the other little nonsense, man, it sometimes be a little distracting. It happens. But the main stuff that's important right now. It's right here, man. So, Lord's willing, it's edifying. Call out Yahweh, Shin Shah. Shalom to the alert. Stay alert.